How do you store a Dyneema composite fabric tarp for an extended amount of time? I mean, every manufacturer out there is going to tell you not to fold or crease this material, or else it could lead to reliability issues in the future. So what do you do if you don't have the space to completely lay this thing flat every season? You know, a lot of people aren't, backpacking with these tarps in the winter. So what do you do? This question was posed to me on the channel a couple days ago, and I thought it was a great topic to talk about, because not only do I have my own personal system of kind of packing this thing up every time I go backpacking and storing it, which we saw in the gear storage video last week, but also, if you remember, in 2019, I hiked the AT with a hammock gear tarp, and I actually forgot about it, and it's been in a tote folded up for the past 4 years now. So not only am I going to show you how to pack this tarp up, but we're also going to take a look at a tarp that was improperly stored. Hey everyone, I'm Frozen with Outdoor Adventures, and thank you so much for joining me. Now, the way I store my tarp is I have a set of mesh snakeskins, or a mesh sleeve that goes over the tarp. You can see it on this end right over here. Before we get into my system of doing it, you can pretty much take these tarps, shove it into a stuff sack, and unpack it when you get home. You don't want to leave it totally compressed all the time, but a month here or there, I don't think will do any harm to the tarp. What I personally do is every morning I use this tarp, I actually grab both ends, and I don't fold it, but I kind of ravel it up. I kind of just make like a cylinder the whole length of the tarp, all the way up to the ridgeline. And what I do from there is I take the snake skins and I just keep sliding it down. And then I go to the other side. I'm just going to ravel it up just like I did on the opposite end. And whenever you see this air bubble, you just stick your hand in there in the side, and then you can shove your snake skin or whatever, your sleeve, the whole way down. Now, after taking it down off the tree, you have this long DCF sleeve, and I'll do a couple different things with this. It just depends on the day, on how I feel. Sometimes I'll fold it in half. I'll fold it in half again, just real loose, and then I'll fold it in half again, and then I'll take my guy lines and ravel my guy line around this tarp fold. Sometimes I will start at one end, and I will just make a very long spiral out of the whole thing, and then again I will just make my guy line go around the tarp. My favorite way of storing this is to fold it off center, either way, just depending on the day, and then start here so I have some bulk to grab onto, and then start that spiral all the way down. And this is typically how I store it in my backpack. Ravel the guy lines up, and then this goes right in my front mesh pocket of my backpack, ready to go for the next day. Now, I would never take this then and store it on my gear shelf. I would drape it over my gear bar where I hang my clothes or my backpacks, and that's where it usually stays. It always stays in this snakeskin. Now, ideally, like I said before, you'd really want to just spread this out and store it under a bed or in a closet hung up or something like that, as to not have any creases or folds in the material itself. But for us people that don't have king size beds, even though I do have a king size bed, I don't have any storage under that king size bed, and I'm pretty sure my wife would kill me if I had my tarp under there instead of more important objects that we could actually store. So this is how I personally do that, and this has worked for not only the AT through hike, but 3 years before the AT through hike, never had one crease, never had an incident. So I also said that during that AT through hike, I forgot that I put the tarp into long-term storage. So let's take a look at that right now, because honestly, I didn't even want to take a look before the video. I want to be surprised so you can kind of share the experience with me, the first reactions video, because those are popular these days, right? And here it is, the exact tarp I used on my through hike. So let's take a look. Is it ruined? So you can see how this was stored. I folded it a lot of times, and it looks like I folded it in half. I don't know what I was thinking. I do see some folds in here, but let's just unravel it the whole way and just see how bad this is, because I think this is kind of what people want to try without, you know, messing their tarp up. So in all honesty, I am not seeing any issues with this. I do have some folds in there. Absolutely do have some folds. Like right here, I do have a fold here. However, I don't think it's an issue unless you constantly fold it, unfold it, fold it, unfold it, and you're doing that for an extended amount of time. I mean, none of the tape is kind of coming off either. Let's find the ridge line. The ridge line is still bonded perfectly fine. I'm honestly not seeing any issues. The only thing maybe, and I wouldn't even call this an issue, is there's definitely some permanent creases where my D-rings are. But, you know, they're taped, so why do we even worry about that? That's not gonna be, you know, a part of the tarp that will, you know, fail due to creases. So in all honesty, from the experience that I just had right now, and I wasn't sure how this video was gonna go, I wasn't sure if I was gonna cry on camera or not, I would say you could probably fold it lightly, gently, and store it. Because I actually had gear on top of this, weighing it down. I had several backpacks, several winter clothes that I no longer use. And I am just examining this tarp and I don't see a single issue with this. So I think that myth is kind of busted. So yeah, I mean, it's still structurally intact. I think that's busted, guys. So for anyone wondering about, you know, somebody that stored their tarp wrong, here's a prime example. I did it myself and I don't see any issues. I think it's perfectly fine. Now I wouldn't do that on purpose, but just in the rare case that you did it on accident, you should be good. Anyway, guys, short video this week. Hope that helps someone. It's a beautiful March 1st day. It's wonderful. It's like 68 degrees out here and I had to come out and do some filming. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on the trail, everybody.